In a manufacturing facility, a piston-driven mechanism that had become stuck suddenly discharged with violent force as a worker attempted to tinker with it from the jam side. Without warning, the built-up pressure released in a powerful blast, striking the worker directly and throwing him to the ground. What appeared to be a minor mechanical issue instantly escalated into a high-energy impact incident caused by stored pressure within the system. This incident highlights the extreme dangers of troubleshooting pressurized or tension-loaded equipment while energized. Lockout-tagout procedures, pressure release verification, and proper training are essential to prevent sudden mechanical blasts and severe blunt force injuries. In a sugar plant facility, a worker standing on top of a truck's cargo bed stepped off the bed while guiding a forklift load of stacked sugar bags and fell to the ground. Focused on directing the incoming load, he misjudged his footing and dropped off the edge of the truck in seconds. This incident highlights the dangers of working on elevated truck beds during loading. Workers should avoid standing on cargo beds while forklifts are operating, and fall protection or designated loading platforms should be used. Clear communication, edge awareness, and proper positioning are essential to prevent serious fall injuries. In a port yard, an elderly man wandered into an active unloading zone and was suddenly buried when a massive bag of surplus clothes was offloaded from a container truck. The heavy load dropped, directly covering him before workers could react. What had been a routine cargo operation instantly turned into a dangerous struck-by and engulfment incident in a high-traffic industrial area. This incident highlights the critical need for strict access control in active port yards. Unauthorized individuals must be kept out of loading zones through barriers and supervision. Clearly marked exclusion zones, spotters, and constant situational awareness are essential to prevent bystanders from being struck or buried by heavy shifting cargo. At a renovation site, workers carrying a metal scaffold frame unknowingly walked it into an exposed live overhead wire. The moment the top of the structure made contact, electrical current surged through the metal frame, instantly electrocuting everyone holding it. Unable to let go due to muscle lock from the current, they remained attached as the electrical flow continued, causing burning within seconds. This incident highlights the extreme dangers of overhead power lines. Work areas must be surveyed for live wires before moving tall metal structures. Maintaining safe clearance distances, de-energizing lines when possible, and using non-conductive equipment are essential to prevent fatal electrocution accidents. In the back of a community kitchen, a worker attempted to pull a shelf loaded with steel containers for transport. Instead of sliding it forward, she accidentally lifted and tipped the heavy rack toward herself. Overbalanced and too heavy to stop, the shelf crashed down onto her, pinning her leg and injuring her back before anyone could rush in to lift it off. This incident highlights the risks of moving tall, top-heavy storage racks without assistance. Shelving units must be unloaded before transport, pushed rather than pulled when possible, and stabilized to prevent tipping. Team lifting and proper material handling equipment are essential to avoid serious leg and back injuries. At a demolition site, a worker on the second floor was hammering away at weakened flooring when the structure suddenly gave way beneath him. As he reached down to manually break apart a section by hand, the compromised floor collapsed, sending him crashing to the ground below. This incident highlights the severe dangers of working on partially demolished floors. Structural integrity must be assessed continuously during demolition, and workers should never stand on or lean into unsupported sections. Proper fall protection, controlled removal techniques, and safe positioning are essential to prevent sudden collapses and serious injuries. In an automotive shop, a tire being repaired suddenly exploded with tremendous force. The blast lifted the tire off the ground and hurled it directly into a worker's face, knocking him unconscious instantly. What had been a routine tire repair task escalated within seconds into a violent impact incident caused by pressurized tire failure. This incident highlights the extreme dangers of handling inflated tires. Tires can store large amounts of energy and fail violently if improperly repaired or overinflated. Protective inflation cages, eye and face protection, and safe positioning away from the trajectory of the tire are essential to prevent serious head injuries. In a restaurant, a young child accidentally ignited a box of fireworks while accompanying his mother to her workplace. The worker quickly tried to stomp out the sparks, and a nearby customer assisted in attempting to remove the box outside. Despite their efforts, the fireworks ignited inside the restaurant, sending sparks and small projectiles across the area. Fortunately, no one was injured. This incident highlights the dangers of open flames and fireworks in confined public spaces. Strict control over children, prohibiting ignition sources indoors, and immediate evacuation procedures are essential. Fireworks should never be handled inside restaurants, and staff must be trained to respond quickly to prevent potential injuries or fire damage. Inside an office, a man about to light a cigarette was suddenly drenched as water poured from the ceiling directly onto him. The unexpected leak not only prevented him from smoking, but also soaked his desk, electronics, and personal belongings. What seemed like a normal day for the worker instantly had a disruptive incident caused by a structural or plumbing failure. This incident highlights the hazards of ceiling leaks in occupied spaces. Regular maintenance of plumbing and ceilings, timely repair of water damage, and immediate area isolation are essential to prevent equipment damage and potential slip hazards from sudden water exposure. At a factory construction site, a crane attempting to lift and position a large water tank suddenly lost control of the load. The tank's weight caused the crane to tip to the side, and the crane arm crashed directly onto a mini excavator, with the operator still inside. This incident highlights the extreme dangers of lifting operations with overloaded or improperly balanced cranes. Load limits must never be exceeded, and proper rigging, stabilizers, and clearance zones must be ensured. Operators in nearby machinery should maintain a safe distance from active crane operations, and all lifting activities should follow strict engineering and safety protocols to prevent catastrophic equipment failures. Outside an office, a group of salarymen celebrating ignited a large firework. One worker grabbed it and pointed it skyward, but the firework exploded prematurely, sending a powerful blast toward him. His hair caught fire from the sparks, but a coworker quickly extinguished it. Fortunately, the worker was unharmed, though the incident created a sudden and dangerous flare-up. This incident highlights the hazards of handling fireworks, especially in uncontrolled environments or under the influence of alcohol. Fireworks should only be ignited in designated, open areas with proper distancing, and protective measures like eye protection and fire extinguishers should be readily available to prevent burns and injuries. Outside a courier facility, a worker who slipped in partially in the back of a truck was suddenly crushed when the automatic rear door, which had jammed and wasn't fully lowered, unexpectedly activated. The door came to a close with full force from behind, pinning him against the truck. With no one nearby to intervene, what had been a routine inspection instantly turned into a severe crush incident. This incident highlights the extreme dangers of automated doors and heavy moving mechanisms. Safety interlocks, lockout procedures, and ensuring the area is clear before activation are essential to prevent workers from being caught or crushed. Regular maintenance and awareness of malfunctioning equipment can prevent such sudden, life-threatening accidents.